Greetings, my name is Joe Bustillos. I am the course director for edm613 Media Asset Creation, and this is a continuing series of intro videos meant to give you a little heads up on some of the projects that we're doing during the course of this month. One thing that you are probably not familiar with is this thing that we are introducing in month 11, which is something you begin in month 11 and finish in month 12, is the Publishing and Leadership Project. And basically the idea behind this is that we see month after month amazing projects, and unfortunately what we also see is most students tend to graduate, and then that kind of is the end of the process for many of our students. And we would like to see you guys, our students, take all this wonderful hard work that you've done and go to the next level and share it, so that what you have done kind of takes you to the next level. That's basically the idea behind it. Because for the most part, like I said, what we have been seeing is students do these wonderful projects. They get the congratulations handshake from Dr. Ludgate, and then they move on, and all that stuff gets put on a shelf. Instead, it really should be a part of, because we know that education needs to change. We know that education is at a turning point, and you guys are the ones that are going to move this thing forward. And so part of that has to do with sharing what you've learned here at Full Sail. So that's where the Publishing and Leadership Project kind of came out of. It's similar to the abstract and the summary, in that what you are basically doing is you are taking the research you've done over the past year, and you are going to formulate it in either as a paper to be published in a journal, or as a presentation to be presented at a conference. And like I said, you'll begin it. It's a two-part thing. You'll begin it this month, finish it next month. So what you do in this month is basically you're going to brainstorm where you want to do this, and you're actually going to create more or less a rough draft of the project, either the document that you want to publish, or the presentation file that will go towards the presentation you'll do. And then in month 12, you will submit a request to present, and that's all you need to do is submit it, and that's how you get the grade in month 12. So for this month, you'll need to decide, obviously, whether you want to publish or present. And like I said, in many ways, you're basically taking your action research project and you're compressing it down. You could think of it either as an beyond one way, again, thinking in terms of our continuum here, one way of thinking about it is, again, taking your action research project and, putting it into a paper, and then, you've got way more words, more than 2,000. We're looking at about 2,000 words. And so you'll need to compress it down. Obviously not as much as, the abstract, but you'll need to compress it down and make it flow as a paper. But you're basically just taking your project and make it into a paper. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it on the other end of the continuum is that maybe you want to take your action research, and for the most part, most of it becomes an introduction to the presentation or paper that you want to write, which would be an extension of the project, things that you discovered, highlighting, focusing in on things that you discovered when you were doing your action research, like making it into a third cycle. Or you can focus, like I said here on this slide, focus on one element, something you discovered. And the way this tends to work out is the more academic a publication or a presentation you want to do, then the more likely it'll be where you'll have all the components evenly distributed in your paper: intro, lit review, methodology, cycle 1, cycle 2, summary. All that gets kind of spelled out equally. The more user-friendly, kind of user-guided kind of conference or paper is probably going to focus much more on your results, in terms of, these are the things I learned from what I did. And then the action research project itself becomes more or less an introductory paragraph. So what step one, kind of, this is why I'm talking to you about it right now, is that you're going to brainstorm in your blog about this process. You'll do 2 blog entries on the process. One blog entry in your class blog probably will be about whether or not you want to present or publish, and why. Talk about it a little bit. Second one will probably be, if you go to the Publishing and Leadership Project activity in FSO, there is a list of publications and conferences. This is a starter list. You might have something that you want to use that we haven't listed. You're more than welcome to explore that. And in your second blog post in your class blog, you will talk about the places where you would like to present or to publish, and you kind of want to narrow it down to 2 or 3 depending on where things go. So that's the second blog post, and then the third blog post is where you will do the actual project itself, which we will talk about at a later WIMBA session. So 2 times you'll think out loud about it, and then a third blog post, which I don't have listed on this slide, will be about the actual posting of your work. So we'll talk more about that in week 2 WIMBA, but the reason I'm mentioning it right now is because obviously this is something that's going to take longer than a week to do. So you may want to do your 2 thinking out loud blog posts as your extra blog posts in week 2, in week 3, or week 1, your choice. And that's why I'm introducing it to you now. Okay, so this the Publishing and Leadership Project, we're calling it kind of a rough draft or first draft, will be due at the end of week 4, and it will also this project will also be what we talk about in our WIMBA session for week 4. Will be where you will sign up in small groups and you will share your project, either a presentation, keynote, PowerPoint, or a Word document that you are going to want to publish. And so that's kind of what the Publishing Leadership Project is all about. So we have basically 3 opportunities to take your action research and transform it into different things. We have an abstract due in week 3. We have a summary that you'll need to have done by the beginning of month 12. And then we have this Publishing and Leadership Project, which we will talk about in a little bit more depth in the week 2 WIMBA. So this was just basically kind of a quick overview of the project, and hopefully no one's heads will explode because of all this information. So here is the contact information if you need to get a hold of me with any questions in regards to anything that was mentioned in the videos. Please feel free to do so. If you see me online, then I'm online because I know that you guys, if you see me online, I kind of anticipate you guys going ahead and popping in if you've got a question. So please feel free to do so if you see me online, edm613@me.com. Also, that's probably the email address you want to hit me up on if you have a question that requires an email correspondence. And then if it's something that requires voice, your best bet of getting a hold of me is to use Skype, and the handle is JB Bustios